Does your Honda Element have dash lights that are burnt out like mine? Here in this video, I'm going to show you an easy way, an inexpensive way to fix all these lights. We're going to replace all the bulbs in this cluster and in the heater controls and the shift selector and hazard lights. The only tools needed for this repair will be a needle nose pair of pliers. If you prefer a trim tool, I have two different ones here, and a Phillips screwdriver or a driver. And I also have an extension bit for the Phillips bit. You're also going to need your bulbs. I did get all these bulbs off HondaPartsNow.com. They are factory OEM bulbs, and I will leave part numbers in the description so you can look them up for yourself. All in all, these bulbs with shipping cost me around $75. We're going to start by removing this side panel on the driver's side, and it just pops out. Careful not to break it. There we go. Thank God it came out without breaking any of the clips. So once it is out, if you look up here to the top, there's one Phillips screw we're going to remove and put the screws somewhere where you will not lose them. I'm going to put them in this cubby hole. I'm going to lower the steering wheel, and this panel should just pull out. I'm going to use my trim tool so as not to break it. There we go. We will set this off to the side. Next, we are going to remove the cluster from the dash. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 Phillips screws holding it in. Start with the top ones. And remember, when you put these back in, you don't need to torque them in. Just put them in hand tight. Putting all my screws over with the other one in the storage compartment, and the cluster should just lift right out. If you tilt the cluster forward, you will have two wire connections. They are green. They have a push tab to remove. You're going to carefully, do not pull on your wires, push down the push tab and pull out the harness. You will now have your cluster completely separated from the car and ready to take out for the bulbs. The next step before we put the bulbs in the cluster, because I am doing all of them, hopefully some of my accessories don't have to be removed, like my cup holder I added or my ram mount. And take your panel tool, insert it at the bottom of this dash trim, and we're gonna pop it out. Going to use the metal one. This one is in there good. I have never done this job before, so you're seeing it done for the first time. Oh, that one's got to chew my dash up. gonna move this out of the way. I'm having a hard time getting this pop free. There we go. So it is hard, but it does come loose. Be careful not to break it. We'll just separate it at the top. This is very flimsy. And at this part, you might need to drop the car into neutral. Or, yeah, we'll go neutral. Oh. I do need to remove this basket. I'm gonna do that and I'll be back. All right, I removed the back screws of my basket. They were holding. I put that basket there to cover up some holes from my CB radio, which is not in here right now. I'm gonna set these screws off to the side. And we want to reach back here. There's a green harness. The plug to press is on the bottom. Kind of hard to do looking at it blind. Okay, that is unplugged. And we also have your hazard switch. If you can see, I'm just gonna press the tab in and carefully unplug that. Now, you have access to change the bulbs in your heater controls. I'm going to set this off to the side. And I'll show you here. The bulb in the shifter is actually right here. I'm not going to be able to show you changing that one. It's going to be a very hard spot to get to, but that's where the bulb is located, in this little indentation. All right, I'm going to take my heater control and my dash cluster to the porch to work on the table, and I'll show you a good angle of changing those bulbs out and how easy it is. All right, this part was a little confusing, separating the bulbs. What I did is I went on Honda Parts Now's website and I looked at the factory diagrams and matched them up with the part numbers. So first we're going to do the cluster, and that is part number 35505 SCVA01, and it requires 7 of those bulbs. So I'm going to look through here and I'm going to find those bulbs right here. 35505 SCV, that's A11, A01, here we go. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I'm going to set my other bulbs off to the side. And I am going to go ahead and open, well, first we'll take out, we're going to open all these up. Set them in a pile. Honda Parts Now is a great place to get OEM parts for your Honda. They're a lot cheaper than the dealership, and it's the same parts that you would get there. These bulbs were around $2 and some change a piece. If I went to the dealership, I'm sure they'd be $6 to $10 a piece. All right, set those there. And while you have this cluster out, it'd be a good idea to take this time to clean it up. There's a lot of gunk down in these grooves, but I'll do that later off camera to save time. All right. Here's where you take your needle nose pliers and make sure we can see this on screen. So here's your bulb locations: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. These two for the odometer are going to be different bulbs. Just going to stick your needle nose down in, twist, and pull. And make sure you don't get these mixed up with the new bulbs. It's not hard at all to get them out. They just barely turn and pull out. I don't know exactly which ones are burnt out. Since I'm into the car this far, I'm doing all of them so I don't have to do it again. Alright, so now I'll get my new bulbs. And this is what the bulb looks like. And we'll insert our new bulbs in. Same way you took them out. You can see if I can show you. There's kind of a certain way they go in. There's a cutout. They just stick in the hole and they do a quarter turn. It's not hard to do, just takes a little bit of time. I wouldn't even want to imagine what the dealership would want to do this job. I'm sure it'd be upwards of $400. Three more left to do. Again, it's just little plastic, so don't be too rough with it. You don't have to crank them in tight. Now before, my complaint was I couldn't see my fuel gauge at night. Half the speedometer wasn't lighting up. And none of my heater controls worked. The lights in them. Alright. Next we'll do the odometer ones. And those are part number 35505 SCV-A11. And there is two of those. And here they are. They stapled them together. So we'll remove these bulbs. These ones have a gray color to them. Put that in the old pile. Get these ones out of the package. And I will list down in the description the part numbers and what they actually go to save you some time from doing what I had to do with the factory diagrams. And this is for a 2006 element. These should be the same from 03 to 11, I believe, but I'm not positive. All right, so there, the cluster's done. So before I put that back in the car, I'm going to clean all this dust and debris out. And you might want to lay a cloth down when you're working on it so you don't scratch up the clear bezel. Next, we'll do the hazard switch, and you will need a Phillips screwdriver for this. You have to take the hazard switch out. Make it easy. And the hazard switch does have one bulb in it. Right there it is on the side. And the hazard switch part number is 35871 S3N901. There's one bulb. So right here it is. Very tiny. This bag you have to tear open. This is the hazard bulb. And to remove this one, you'll need your Phillips. It's right here on the side of the hazard switch housing. Might be better having a flathead for this one. I can't get it out. Hey dear, could you grab me a sharp pointed knife? Yeah, this one's being a little difficult to come out. I'm also going to clean up the debris around this one while I have it out. Yeah, that'll work. Thank you. Okay, so that worked. Let's take you a little knife or a pick and pop it out. Take your new one. There it go. Only goes in a certain way. You can see there's a cutout or shape for it. Push it down in. It would definitely be easier with a flathead. The Phillip doesn't want to grab, but I made it work. That's back in. So now, put that bulb in the bad pile. We'll put our hazard switch back in. Make sure you put it in the right way, facing up. This would be the bottom of the console. So I want my arrow pointing up. Put it in like so. Just hand tighten the screws back down. You don't want to strip them out in the plastic. Okay, that's in there. Next, we're going to do the heater controls. And there is 2 different types of bulbs in this. There's 3 of one kind and 3 of the other. You'll have one bulb here, a different bulb there, one bulb here, different bulb there, one bulb here, different bulb there. And I believe they are different sizes. So we're going to do the smaller ones first. And these are part number 79629 SCVA01. And you'll have 3 of those. And they are stapled together. That was nice that they did that. So we'll take these bulbs out first. This one you cannot do with the pliers. Might be able to do it with the knife. Nope, we're gonna need a flathead for this. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I did get 2 different sizes. I think this technician screwdriver is gonna be the ticket. You'll just stick it down in. Yep, perfect. Twist and pull it out. Put that in the bad pile. And here comes my son to crash the video. Second one out. There you go, just kind of lift that out. Get the new bulbs. Get out of here. Hey, Daddy's making a video. Mickey, can you get him?
I went off, Dad. I went off. Dad. Dad. Dad, I went off. Daddy, and just turn back on.
No, it's not off.
Why?
Because it didn't go off.
No, I did.
No, that's just a screensaver. There's 1 bulb in.
Dad, what?
Go to mommy.
Dad, what are these?
Mickey.
Dad, what are these?
These are bulbs. Light bulbs. They light up in the car.
Mom, what are these?
For your dad's girlfriend.
Mom. Dad, what? I see that.
Some of these. There's cheese in the
I don't want.
Alright, there's the second one in. 1 more to go. It's really hard to make video when you have a house full of kids. They just love to crash the party. And there's the 3rd one in. Yep, looks good. Alright, let's move on to the bigger ones. I'm just going to twist all these out and then I'll probably dump them out. There they are, all 3. As you can see, these bulbs are much bigger than the other ones we did. The gray ones are what we're doing now, the bigger ones. The white ones are the smaller ones. And these would be part number 79629 S3V A01. So here they are, stapled together. And you're seeing this all real time as I'm doing it, so you'll know how long the job takes. These barely turn in. They only turn just a little bit to lock into place. And last one. Alright, they all look like they're going the same. If you look in here to make sure they're in, so like I said, they just barely turn in. if you look in at the bulbs, they're all going the same way and in the same position. So I'm confident that they're all in there. All right, the last bulb that we have is 35505 TA5A51, and this is a little glass bulb, and this is going to be for the shifter. So I will do this one. I will try to film it if I can. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a good angle on it, but that will be the last bulb. And this is every bulb in your heater controls, cluster, shifter, and hazard lights. The only other bulbs that would be to replace would be the cruise control bulb, which is down by your left knee on the driver's side. And I think there's another switch next to that. But my lights are working fine in that, so I'm not doing that one. All right, we're gonna head out to the car and I'll show you how to reassemble all this. All right, we're gonna reassemble this cluster here, and it's pretty dirty in here. I really should have got the shop vac and swept this out, but it's losing daylight. So if I can get it down without dropping it and breaking it. And I did clean this up a little bit. Drop this wheel down. Put the first one in. Second one. Put that down in place. Get our 4 screws. I hope you guys can't hear the neighbor. Of course, they decided to come out and mow their grass right as I'm doing this, so hopefully the audio is still decent. Just snug these down. You don't have to do them tight. Because you will strip them out. In fact, I'm going to set my clutch down. Last one. Bump that up just a little bit. Okay, that's in. I'm gonna jump off camera here for a second. I'm gonna attempt to do, I might be able to pull this up. Let's do this. So yeah, there's some clips here. There's some little clips. Oh man, I'm trying so hard not to break anything. I don't like working with old plastic because a lot of times it's brittle. Screwdriver. There we go. Ooh, there's some dirt and grime in there. So just kind of move that out of the way. I'm even having a hard time seeing where this is. Ah, I think I see it. So that bulb is actually on the bottom side of this, and it just twists and pulls out. You can see it. You just twist it with your fingers and pull it out. That's all it is. Change that bulb and put it back in. What did I do with the bulb? It always helps if you don't lose the bulb, which I did. I don't know what I did with it. All right, I'll be back. Wow, I feel dumb. I tried to throw the bulb away with the other packaging. Now we just gotta figure out how this bulb comes out. Yeah, it just pulls out, it looks like. There we go. That bulb's out. Put the new one in. And this again is that part number 35505 TA5A51. Gosh, these are tiny, hard to work with. It goes in only one way. Now, to get it back in its hole. Very hard to work at this angle. All right. That was hard. So I had to come to the other side of the car and kind of lay down, as you see. But then once you can get in there and look, if I had a light, it might have been easier. But you can see the orientation that it goes back in to this plate here. And once I felt it go into place, wow, what a relief. But then trying to get it turned to where it locks in is a whole nother story. But it is in there. Clean some of this dirt and dust out. And then we'll put this back on. Which, to put this back on, just kind of push it down in place like so. Now we're going to put the dash panel back on. There, you should be able to see it. So first things first, we put the car back in neutral. And this just allows some room to get over the shifter. Plug the hazmat back in, and then plug in your heater controls. Remember, the push tab was on the bottom. Now, before I put this all back together, I'm going to test everything, make sure it's working. Want to make sure that you have your harnesses plugged in the correct way. Okay, everything seems to be working. Can't really tell, it's too light. So what we're gonna do, I'm going to come back out here when it's dark and I will show you guys all the new bulbs working. The sun's going down right now, it's beating through my windshield, it's too light to see anything, but we'll come back out and see how it looks at night. So put that and that. Wow, that is annoying. Turn the lights off. And we're just gonna push this all back down into place. Give it a little love tap. And then I will put my bolts back in. If anyone's interested in these baskets, this is a really neat cup holder idea. And all this is a metal pencil basket for a desk that I get at Office Max or Office Depot. And then I just self-tapped it in. I screw stuff into my dash. I don't care. The car's paid for, it's mine. And this is a storage basket off a desk, and this works really nice for your phone, pens, change, unless you have the music up loud and then it rattles, cigarettes, whatever. But I just self-tapped it into the dash. I put this up here to cover up the holes from my CB radio. So let's set the clutch down. And I'm actually going to come to the other side. Because I don't want to put any more holes than I already have in. So I want to get the same holes. Oh, this is not in all the way. Hang on. There we go. Now it's in. I know some of you are probably cringing right now that I'm doing this. To each their own. Do what you want in your own car. Okay, I'll come back around, back into place. And I did not break any of the clips as I took it out. So that's good. Drop the steering wheel down. There's two tabs on the end over here. Make sure you line those up in there first. And then the rest should just kind of fall into place. And then finally, I'm going to put the last Phillips screw back in. And then your plastic panel goes on just like it came off. Which will go on this way. Put the back in first so it can fall into the groove. Just a tad. For whatever reason, mine, there we go. Put the bottom in first. It's not, there we go. Snap it into place. So what I had to do was put the bottom corner in first in the back, and then snapped it all into place. So there you have it. This project's done. Don't be afraid to do it yourself. Save yourself some money. Don't pay the dealership. With a little bit of knowledge, you can do it. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment below and I'll try my best to answer it for you. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. It was a little long, but I wanted you to see really how long this project takes instead of cutting down the clips of the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is a new channel and I would really love the support. I look forward to bringing you more videos in the future. And until then, you have a good day.